the best ways to trade this market undoubtedly is the counter trend chop type strategies. I'm going to show you the data for that. These are 3 strategies we sent to our subscribers that we have not started trading yet. We've paused our live trading for the quarter. We've been focused on the trend strategies, and these counter trend strategies, for example, were up 12K, and they mainly trade on Mondays. They were up 12K last Monday, and they gave a little bit back on Tuesday. We can go over last week's trade. So this week, I've anticipated the market to go back to trend mode, and maybe it will, but right now the trend is chop, and so you have to go with the trend. There's different ways to look at trend in the market. There's the direction up or the direction down, but you also have to consider the mode of the market, and the mode of the market is very choppy, and it could remain that way for a long time. I'm going to show you some additional data in the portfolio calculator that you want to take a look at to show the trend results for the counter trend results for all 257 strategies. These are 3 right now, though, that we were trying to lock in on at the right time, but they have gone into a run-up, and so these are some strategies to continue to track. Like I said, they gave some back on Tuesday of last week. Chop News was up 21.50 on Monday, down 22.80 on Tuesday, but it sort of break even for that strategy. So the bigger gains were on Tick Chop News, 41.30 on Monday, gave back 12.25 on Tuesday, and then Chop 2 News was up 5,900 on Monday, and then it gave back 575 on Tuesday. So the portfolio setup that includes these 3 strategies, I want to show you that. This is the stock index portfolio 33, and this is 3 strategies more than what we were trading. We're trading the stock index portfolio 30 plus precious metals. You can see that it is down on the month, and it did have a down week. It was down 10,000 this week, but it had a huge, the gains on Monday from those counter trend strategies made a big difference, and it's one that would have been great to have been in on. We were trading the stock index portfolio 30 plus precious metals right here, and we phased into a full contract. A full contract would have been down on the week by about 22,000. So it was a tough week. We weren't down that much, but we phased into a full contract. So we weren't trading a full contract earlier in the week. But we're paused our live trading for the rest of the quarter, and this is our research of some of the latest of what can be traded. And like I said, our mindset, I want to show you all 257 strategies. Here is all 257 strategies, and what you can do with the portfolio calculator is you can select trend or counter trend. So what happens if we look at this? 419,000 current drawdown, 249,000. Let's look at the drawdown curve on this setup. All these strategies would have been down 141,000 if you traded 240. If you traded all 257 strategies. Now that's not a big drawdown for this. It would take a very large account to trade this. Probably I would recommend 5 million to trade this many strategies. So being down 141,000 isn't terrible, but it's definitely underperformed. You can see how these strategies have underperformed in one of the choppiest market environments at the current index levels that I've seen. And so what can we do? What would happen if we were just trading the trend strategies? Look at just the trend strategies. $486,000 drawdown, 367 would be the current drawdown, and it is down 125,000 on the year. And you can see the drawdown curve really separated from equity peaks and has really struggled. And so what about the trend strategies? Let's take a look at just the trend strategies, and you can see the big difference here. This is definitely something to take note of. Only a $94,000 drawdown, and keep in mind we're looking at 126 strategies, so you have to think about in terms of a larger account. That's pretty small, and it is, if you just look, I'm going to pull this down here so we can see it easier. So it is down 15K right now after having a strong January. And this is what the drawdown curve looks like. It's in line with its historical drawdowns. CounterTrend doesn't typically make as much, is not as profitable as trading trend strategies. In this type of market, it's harder to be profitable. Your net profits on the year are going to be smaller, but this is the kind of market environment that we're in, and this is the best way to take advantage of it. And you can see that the strategies that are, when you filter it to just counter trend strategies, you can see which strategies are counter trend. A lot of these are redundant, and so you don't always want to trade redundant variations of the same strategy. But this is the list of counter trend strategies that we have here. A lot of gold and silver and crude oil counter trend strategies, natural gas, a lot of our commodities, SR counter trends. A lot of those SR counter trends are counter trend. A lot of the SR counter trend portfolios have done well this year. I want to show you how well this portfolio from 2020, 2021. Let's look at the SR counter trend portfolio. SR counter trend 234 from 2021. You find that June of 2020 to November of 2020 is when we were looking at that one. And you can see that it is up 6,700 on the year. It's 40 strategies. It doesn't take a lot of trade, so it's not going to make as much net profit. The net profits aren't going to be as high. But the drawdown curve since the pandemic has expanded, and there's some additional things we can do for this. But looking at a set of strategies that were developed as the pandemic was happening, the SR counter trends and counter trend strategies have certainly been at the top of the list. And you can see additionally what would happen if we just traded the counter trend strategies in our stock index portfolio 33. And you can see up 39K on the year, not as consistent historically. And you can see the drawdown curve is, this set of strategies is more for the current market environment, but you can test it back historically. These, historically, we're talking about stock indexes, and we're talking about strategies at a much lower index level back here. And so they're not really, they come back to profits, and the drawdown's not that steep, but the time to recover is longer because we're looking at lower index levels back here. And so the strategies are more set up for the current index levels and the current daily ranges. So it doesn't do terrible historically, but it does well now. And the worst case drawdown is much more cyclical and much more stable over time when just looking at the counter trend strategy. So it's definitely the counter trend market environment and the mindset that we're waiting for the trend to finally happen. We're waiting for the trend to finally happen has been the wrong mindset. And so we're really, want to focus on the counter trend environment, on multi-markets, and not just stock indexes, not just looking for big NASDAQ moves intraday, because we may go for several years before we see that again. And we may be in a more and more mean reversion, choppy market environment for a while, and we want to be prepared for that, and we want to trade the strategies that are best, and we also want to keep in mind what we will do if the market goes back to trend mode once again. We could see some trends here and there, but I don't think we're going to see the same amount of trends get back to the trendy nature that you saw back in here, where you have huge net profits on some of these setups, even with counter trend strategies. So, and when you add the trend strategies, you see those net profits go up even more historically. But now drawdowns expanding, and so so here is where this setup is with the current still up, but the historical volatility that we had since the pandemic is going to contract a little bit, and so we're going to have to focus more on counter trend strategies, and this is certainly good data to let us know how to manage our trading as we head towards the second quarter of 2024. Hey, David Bean here. Welcome to Capstone Trading Systems YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe to join our community of algorithmic traders. We are real money traders. We share our winning streaks. We share our losing streaks. as well as market updates, strategies, and coding tips.